All right, thanks, Edward, for talking with us today. Saw the film yesterday, and I just want to say you did an awesome job. But the thing that was really surprising was the roles that De Niro and Jovovich did. I think they just completely haven't had roles this good in a long time, and I wanted to see how it was working with them. I know you worked with De Niro before.
Yeah, I totally agree. I thought both were spectacular in the film. I think De Niro's the portrait he puts together of a guy whose life is built on these kind of constructs of respectable job and marriage and church and everything, who's unwinding inside and losing his spiritual faith. It's an incredible performance. It's masterful, I think. And Mila was is amazing. I thought that what she did was so difficult and complicated in terms of straddling, someone who's manipulative and yet is very pure and sincere at the same time. It's such a contradictory and dangerous character. It's like really. I think we've been uniformly hearing from people that they think she's like,
There's a particular scene in the prison when she's talking to you, and there's a scene just showing her face as she breaks down at your indifference. That I've never seen her do something like that before.
I can't say enough good about her. She should win every award in the book. Like I think she's so good in it. So good.
And as for you, this is another and kind of a long line. You take on very differing and kind of extreme characters, and so I want to see how you approach this character and how you approach acting in general. Like, how do you prepare for this, and what draws you to these kind of large characters?
It was complex. It was a strange and difficult story of imprisonment, kind of people who are literally imprisoned and people who are spiritually imprisoned. And I think, sometimes I read something and I don't really think that I'm right for it almost. And the process of finding my way into it and figuring out how I can make something interesting out of it is often more fun when I don't necessarily think that it's a good one for me in the beginning.
The movie deals with a lot of religious themes. Obviously, every character seems to fall in a certain spectrum of what they believe or what they don't believe. Do you feel the movie makes any definite statement about religion or about faith or anything like that?
No. In fact, I think the thing I like about the film and about John Curran as a filmmaker is that I think that it presents a lot of questions to the audience. I think it very purposefully raises a lot of questions, like, how can what is spiritual awakening? How is it only authentic if it takes place in a church, or can it take place in a place like a prison? How do we know that that's happening when it comes to us, and what are the consequences of living in denial about your faith, about your interaction with your marriage, all these things. And I think questions at the end about whether Stone's conversion was authentic are central to the film.
Right.
I think that. So I think the fact that John is, as a filmmaker, is willing to leave some of these questions in the gray area and leave them for you to think about I think that's, to me, the mark of a great filmmaker. I think most of the films that I really was affected by in my life, I would say, have that quality of demanding of you a little bit of thought as to what they were about.
I think the film is at its best when it's just, and this is the majority of the film, it's just two characters playing off each other. It's very, it's almost like a play in that sense. Are you drawn more to films that have that quality, or do you like kind of the...
No. I mean, look at a film like Fight Club, which you couldn't find a more frenetic, in the good sense. It's a kinetic, effects-driven and strange kind of landscape of. So to me, and yet it is also a psychologically intense film. So I'm not drawn to things that are acting heavy. I think I'm more drawn to things. I would say that Stone, like like Fight Club or like many of the films that I've worked on that I like the most, I think the quality of them that's more consistent is that they're sort of rolling around in some of the themes of the times that we're living in. You know, I think that this Stone, we've had a lot of people saying to us, everyone from a Christian radio host to, you know, journalists to just audiences at festivals have been saying that they felt like this was very in tune with the difficulties of the economic downturn and just sort of the spiritual crisis the country's going through. You know, so when people say things like that to me, I like it. I feel like we're digging around in the moment that we're living in, and that to me is the best thing you can do with a film in some ways.
I agree. It was a really effective movie, and I wish you the best of luck with it.
Thank you.
That's my time.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks so much for
Good
talking
question.
with us.